we are continuing with the steel or the iron carbide phase diagram. If you see here on the extreme left, right, this is the alpha ferrite phase. This is where pure alpha will be there. Otherwise it is alpha and cementite and so on. So this is pure. And if you see this 0.022% carbon, so alpha ferrite is at a very small 0.02% carbon, right? And the temperature is 727 Celsius where you have full alpha ferrite. If you now take anything, if it is liquid plus gamma plus cementite, alpha plus cementite. So wherever you are, you cool from here, you cool from here, you cool from here. Ultimately, if you go below this 727 Celsius, then all of the remaining liquid or other phases, right, will change into alpha and cementite. On your left is alpha, on your right is cementite. Cementite is iron carbide, right? And anything here is alpha plus. So this is two solid phases together. Alpha ferrite of iron and iron carbide. Together, this is called pearlite. Pearl, you know pearl, right? What you get from the sea, the pearls, the gems. So because it looks very bright and shiny like a pearl, so you call it pearlite. So under a microscope, pearlite looks like this. Alternating layers of cementite and alpha ferrite. So the white background is one of them, the dark lines is the other, right? So because you have alpha and you have cementite in it, so there are these two phases which are a mixture of each other, right? Which are a mixture of each other, and together they appear very shiny gray, right? So this is called pearlite. So pearlite is not one phase. Pearlite is alpha ferrite and cementite mixed together. Delta ferrite, you see at this extreme corner here is delta ferrite. Delta ferrite. So you see it is almost at 1500 Celsius. So iron is this very special material. If you are above 1600, it is liquid. But if you hit this, right, if you hit this 1538 or below, then it will be liquid plus delta. Liquid plus delta. So around 1500 Celsius, around 15 is so hot, but some of the liquid iron will already start converting it into a solid. So please remember this. It is not that the solid starts forming at a very low temperature. In iron, one of the solid phases, delta ferrite, starts forming at 1500 Celsius, right? So this is there, this is there. If you go below here now, right, if you are coming from there, so this is liquid, and here, this whole region from here till here, all this region is the austenite region, gamma or austenite region. So this is above 727 and say below 1400, all this in this region is austenite. So if you are a liquid here, when you hit this, then some of the liquid will change into gamma. And when you keep on dropping, then all of the remaining liquid will become austenite, right? So this is the FCC phase. As I told you, alpha is a BCC phase, delta is a BCC phase, and this gamma or austenite is the FCC phase. So, and it is from here onwards until 2.14, right? Until 2.14. Until 2.14 and so on. So there are different things here in the iron carbide diagram. On the extreme left, we have delta, we have gamma, we have alpha. On the extreme right, we have cementite. So when you come from above, if you are coming from here, liquid, then liquid plus cementite, right? Right? Liquid plus cementite. Then whatever remaining liquid is there changes into gamma plus cementite. And once you go below 727, then all of this changes into alpha and cementite. If you are coming from here, liquid, gamma plus liquid. Then when you hit this line, 1147, then all the remaining liquid changes into gamma plus cementite. and when you cool it, then all of that changes into alpha plus cementite, right? So lots of one region, another region, another region, another region. And this is the eutectic point. Eutectic, liquid changes into two solids. And this is the eutectoid point. One solid changes into two solids. And the solid below 727 and all the way to room temperature. Below 727 and all the way to room temperature, the solid is two solid phases, alpha ferrite and iron carbide or cementite mixed together, and together they are called pearlite. The austenite microstructure, right? Austenite exists between 727 and 1493. The structure looks like this. The structure of austenite looks like big slabs of certain grains with some lines of the other one, right? So this is what austenite under a microscope looks like. Steel invariant points, I have told you, right, that this is a eutectic point, this is a eutectoid point, and here is a peritectic point, right? So eutectoid 727 and 0.76, right? 0.76% carbon and 727 eutectoid. Eutectic 1147 temperature and 4.3% carbon, right? And peritectic 1493 Celsius and 0.53% carbon. So these are the three invariant points where one phase suddenly changes into two phases. And here we are giving you more details of the eutectoid and so on. Now the term hyper-eutectoid steel and hypo-eutectoid steel. This is in terms of composition only. Composition. You see, on the horizontal axis, you have the composition, right? Percent carbon. So 0.76% carbon, for example, is eutectoid, right? 0.76 weight% carbon is eutectoid steel. So this one line only, one vertical line is eutectoid. 0.76% carbon, eutectoid steel. If the percentage is carbon is less than 0.76, it is called hypoeutectoid steel. Hypoeutectoid steel. And if the percentage of carbon is more than 0.76% carbon, it is called hypereutectoid steel. Hyper. So this eutectoid, hypoeutectoid or hypereutectoid is based only on the percentage of carbon. If the percentage of carbon in this steel is 0.76% carbon, this is only one steel known as eutectoid steel. If the percentage is carbon is below this amount, less than 0.76, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, all of these steels are hypoeutectoid steels. If the percentage is carbon is more than this, more than 0.76, 0.8, 0.9, 1, 1.1, 1.2, then all these steels are hypereutectoid steels. So this is a name. So now the martensite phase. Under the microscope at high magnification, martensite looks like this. Martensite, right? Martensitic transformation, diffusion-less conversion of a lattice from one form to another by rapid cooling. Normally homogeneous, it diffuses into the other phase. Here it is rapid. Austenite, rapidly quenched to ambient or room temperature. The product is martensite. Elongated BCC cells. Elongated. BCC cells have been elongated. BCC was a cube, but that cube has become a longer elongated cube form. And all the carbon atoms remain as interstitial impurities in the iron lattice. This phase is harder and stronger than any other carbon steel product, but of course less ductile. So this is very important. If you suddenly cool steel from a very high temperature to room temperature, this non-homogeneous diffusionless cooling will result into a phase called martensite, this is an elongated BCC structure. BCC is a standard cube. All sides are equal. But if you take a cube and elongate it into a rectangular structure, so this elongated BCC structure is martensite, and the strength and hardness of martensite is huge, several times, not 10, 20, 30% higher, several times the standard steel strength and hardness, right? So martensite is very strong and very hard. But you know that if any phase or any metal is very strong, then it is less ductile, right? So if you have martensite, it will be very strong and very hard, very good for use. But manufacturing with a lot of martensite inside will be very tough because the ductility will have been lost. So generally what you want to do during manufacturing, you manufacture in the normal steel phases. And after manufacturing, you do the heat treatment so that you get some martensite into the steel. So you have already manufactured in a more ductile, formable format. And once you manufactured it and the final shape and size and everything, geometry is there, then you do a quenching heat treatment so that you get martensite. And now this martensite is very hard and strong. So we are still talking of the martensitic transformation, and here we are mentioning a special test called the Jominy quench test. Those of you who have done the course on engineering materials, a higher course than material science, most probably have done this in the lab. This is a test for finding the hardenability, right? How much can a material be hardened? The ability to undergo martensitic transformation is called hardenability. This is measured by the Jominy quench test. This is the schematic. A heated, which means austenized tester specimen, right? So there is a steel which you have heated to 800, 900 Celsius. This is specimen 1 inch dia, 4 inch long, standard size, is quenched rapidly by a spray of cold water. And the depth of the increased hardness is measured. Do you understand? You see, we measure now hardness as we go into the depth of the specimen. When you heat and suddenly quench something, then its hardness increases. First of all, the outer surface layer is hardened. Then a little layer below the surface is hardened. Then a little layer below the surface is hardened. So when you do this hardening, then this change into the hardened format goes from the outside surface slowly inside. So if you take a sample and take the hardness at the surface, then just below the surface, then a little below the surface, then a little below the surface, then you can plot this and so on, right? So the Jominy test does this hardenability thing. And here we are just mentioning it because when you are quenching, then you are increasing the martensite. And first the surface layer has more martensite, then some more layer, then some more layer, and so on. Bainite is another phase, non-equilibrium phase of steel. And the microstructure of bainite under the higher magnification and microscope looks like this. So bainite is produced by cooling austenite rapidly to between 550 to 250 Celsius and then allowing it to remain at that temperature. So this is a special thing now, right? You are doing quenching, rapid cooling, but you are not doing rapid cooling all the way to room temperature. From austenite, right, austenized, you rapidly cool to say 500 or rapidly cool to 400 and then keep the temperature constant at that 500 or 400. If you do this rapid cooling plus keeping the temperature constant, then you will get bainite.